right, gentlemen, let's get started with Besieged. We have the American setup and the Japanese setup as we covered before. Let's go to the map and let's see how the Americans have decided to choose to be attacking the Japanese. All right, pretty straightforward. Like we covered before, down here in the bottom left-hand corner, we have an 8-0, 3 squads, 10-2, 2 squads, so he could penetrate the dense jungle in the middle. The 8-0 and the medium machine gun will go up the center to shoot things on the side. 9-1, 2 squads will go scouting into the jungle to prevent any, hopefully, any of the Japanese from coming to the backside or maybe dispatching anything they try to deal with in the beginning. They're all going to spread out. No one's going to be in the same hexes. Most of the time, fire groups will not be an issue unless you're over here in this general vicinity, because most of this is going to be dense jungle. Here, light jungle, no problems. Light jungle, dense jungle, not a problem unless both units are in the location. I don't see this being an issue here, and these spots up here probably will not come into play. Again, we must keep the Japanese from being adjacent to all the little red Japanese, quote, possession dots. So that was where the old road came through, and we have to exit. Importantly enough, we still have to exit units off the map as the Americans, even if we're fighting to keep the Japanese from the old road. And so where are those points going to come from? We've got a 9-1, 667, 4 points. 2 squads, 4 points. Leader, squad, perhaps a half squad if he gets reduced later on, 4 points. But the 9-1, the 667 are the easiest units to satisfy that condition. They could possibly go straight forward, and if the Japanese react and they head this direction, at least those 2 units can just go off the map near late game and have the other squad come in here and meet up with the 8-0 who's going to go up in the middle anyway. So the 8-0 will have 3 squads in the medium machine gun, which should be plenty of firepower in the center portion of the map. We'll see what happens there. It all depends on how successful these units are over here, how fast they go up and cross the open ground. Open ground, we worry too much about the open ground. We could possibly smoke E4 and then pass through it. Any broken units will route back into the jungle with the 10-2 rallying them. That's kind of the idea. You got to know who's going to rally whom. All right, so let's proceed with turn 1. American turn 1, rally phase. No rally for the Americans. No rally for the Japanese. We've got concealment markers on all the units. Again, Japanese are not hidden. No one is going to be hidden in the game. Put these over here. And these are the concealments I'm going to be using for the Americans. I'm going to move them and then put concealments on them at the end. Most of these guys will move together to maximize their movement capabilities. So the 8-0 here will move first. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I think that's it. So he'll maintain his concealment there. The 10-0 with the 2 squads in the middle will go, because he's a 10-2 leader, this leader can actually be counter-exhausted to counter the effects as long as he doesn't want to go into close combat. So we're going to penetrate straight in the middle. We might want to crush these units over here first, just to set up tons of units. So let's have that be our objective. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5. We need to be adjacent to the units. We may need to counter exhaust. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, we'll do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They're concealed and they're counter exhausted. Issues being counter-exhausted right there. Both of these units could swing down and try to engage in close combat. Of course, he doesn't know what's in that particular location, which leader it is going to be, so he doesn't know who's going to come across. Also, he'll have lots of firepower. This unit will advance into one of these locations here and then be point blank on one unit. With that firepower and the leadership modifier, there will be a result coming off of that, and we'll reduce that unit most likely in the ensuing defensive fire phase. And we'll have some covering units on the flanks. So the 8-0 and this entourage here will go 1, 2, 6. And in this particular instance, you need to check for line of sight from these units over here. This unit is on ground level. This unit's on ground level. This unit is on first level. If this unit was on first level here, if he was on first level there, then he'd have a line of sight over the intervening units over here. Since he's not, we don't have to worry about that. But this unit over here, he might have a line of sight. That looks like it's a line of sight to me. Looks like it's about the center, right there. Pretty close to the center. Even if it's not even close to these jungle units over here. And again, dense jungle does not go up 2 levels, and it does not hit this hex side here, which would be at level 1 in obscure line of sight. So that would be a clear line of sight. Those units will lose concealment, interestingly enough. All right. So we'll just move this off the side. 9-1, these two guys down here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, he'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and will not counter exhaust. And that's it for the American movement phase. American defensive fire, or Japanese defensive fire. I don't really want to reveal myself over here, although that's in range of the Americans. So that's something that the Americans can do. I'll let the Americans take that half firepower shot, because if I happen to fail some sort of silly morale check, 5, 6, that's only going to be a 4 even shot. And it's not a bad shot, but I would rather keep my concealment here at this point. Perhaps later. You could choose to fire here. The choice would be yours. Again, that's a 4 even shot. But at this point, maybe if these guys get a little closer over here, we could take a 12 and just really break units. Again, not a bad shot. I'm just choosing not to take it at this point. Actually, you know what? That would be a good one to take. The reason why is because if you want to maintain concealment, we can move this unit up here and this unit down here, and they could swap positions, and he would be able to gain concealment most likely at the end of the turn, or he could just simply move back or move this direction. So yeah, we will take that shot. What the hell? And notice I do back up a little bit to do a couple things. It's really not that critical. This unit has no impact on his move. And you can say, yeah, Stu, you can't be doing that because this guy already moved. But you got to think about it. This is a learning experience. And reasons why this unit will take a shot is simply because, well, that's going to be an 8+1. 8+1 on the backside. He has 8 morale. If that was a 7 morale unit, that would be a different thing to consider. With an 8 morale, he has a higher chance of not being damaged by that ensuing advanced fire shot from I-8. And he's probably going to move out of that vicinity anyway in reaction to the Americans. Maybe maybe not, depending on where the Americans advance to. So let's go with the free shot. Breakdown 11 on the light machine gun. So here we go. And we roll a Snake Eyes. He does cower after that. So Snake Eyes on the 4 column goes down to the 2 column. That would be a K1 on those American units, because the +1 jungle is negated by the non-assault movement. Wow, that's a very powerful shot. Lucky shot in the beginning. And he will be final fired, of course. Wow. Okay, Americans. Let's see who gets the K. We'll do green leader, and then the squads below. We have a 4 for one of the squads, and here's the half. So we're just gonna change his state to a 347, and now everyone takes a 1 morale check. All right, starting with our leader. He gets a 10, so he will fail. Oh, look at that. Look at that. 347 rolls a 7. He will fail. 667 rolls a 6, and he will pin. All right. No worries. Get our DM status. So those guys aren't going anywhere. So it stops me from being able to put these units over here. I hadn't actually seen that line of sight. That makes that position actually pretty strong. Maybe put the medium there, since he has line of sight to that location. That's rather key, to be honest with you. Pretty safe. The medium can cover down here, can shoot here, shoot here, shoot here, and all these spaces over here. Yeah, the medium might be better served. Might have been better served over there. But still, the same attack, you know. 11 range. That's a 6 range out of this guy's normal range, which makes him a 4. So, not bad at all. Okay, cool. So, that's it for the Americans' movement phase. Let's go to the advanced fire phase, which there will be... He might as well fire. It'll be 6 range, so the 667 is going to be in normal range, and he will be halved for being pinned, halved for the advanced fire phase, so that takes it down to 1.5, raised up to 2, +1 for assault fire. That will be a 2 +1 back on the Japanese unit. And the result is a 3. Man, these guys are not wasting any time with their accurate fire. So that's a 3 +1 is a 1 morale check on the Japanese unit. Oops. 1 morale check yields a 10. So even though they break, he will step reduce. That is not what we want to see as the Japanese. Again, these are the risks that we take. A pinned 667 versus the destruction that was here still yielded the same result that the Americans were looking for. Unfortunately, the Americans lost a victory point to exit off the map. Now these guys could be a priority, because now these units are worth 4 points together, and the 9-1 theoretically and the medium machine gun will stay on board. So that's what you have to think about. Okay, these guys took casualties. How does that change who's getting off? Most of these guys here are going to be fighting. Maybe the 8-0 can do an end around, because no one has line of sight if the 447 here retreats. No line of sight, he can simply do an end around and get into a position behind the Japanese. So, again, that's the whole point. The 447 being here is to stop movement in the open ground area on this side. The 8-0 is just a bluff to say that, okay, maybe there's 2 447s. This could simply be a leader. But again, considering the number of support weapons the Japanese player has, you can probably easily just... One of 4 of these units is most likely going to be the 228 with a medium. The American probably thinks it's going to be this one. This guy could be the one with a mortar. He could be with the one with a mortar. He could be with the one with a mortar. But now we know where one of the light machine guns is, and so that reduces the questionable information that we don't have. And this unit over here, we know this guy, this guy, this guy, or this guy are the leaders. So we know they're still thin, and we did a decent exchange up here. So, wow, interesting first movement phase. All right, advanced fire phase is come and gone. Route phase. At this point, because we have line of sight to this unit, we may not route forward. We can route to this location because it's the same distance from here. Should we do that? Should we do that? Route to this location. It's getting closer to this unit. It's a leader and a squad. This guy's pinned, so the Japanese can come up here and jump in close combat. Probably not what we want to do. We actually probably want to... I'm going to move him off the hill so no one can see him, so he can rally. This unit can't move whatsoever. So I am going to move them off because I don't know if the Japanese are going to stay there. Again, the firing back is going to be 8+1. Actually, that's only going to be a 3 chart. It'll be a 2+1 coming back this way. They will most likely move. This unit will most likely move out of the area because he lost firepower. That doesn't mean this unit here won't move up and tackle me here. But this unit will be unpinned at the end of the turn, and he'll have 20 firepower to deal with these guys. And considering he's broken, this guy's location might need to move here to cover G6 in case this unit wants to run down here and pressure these Americans down here. Also, it stops the Japanese. If I were to move here, it stops the Japanese from simply running down here behind the Americans. So, something to think about. Yeah, so if I move here, all 3 of these locations is covered from these Japanese units by trying to get over there. So, think about where you're going to advance in terms of stopping their push. So let's go ahead and advance. We're going to move 1 unit here. Then we're going to move 2 units over here. Simply because, and the leader as well. I'm just going to go ahead and conceal these guys. Because that gives us lots of firepower. 6 firepower up on the top with no cowering. Again, this guy's here to give us some more firepower in case they want to do a prolonged attack. We don't want to take a lucky shot of 4+1 with 3 units. That will really screw things up. Actually, the location in E6 is not terrible because E6 again can see over these locations. But I don't know. I don't want to get attacked by two Japanese squads, so we're going to go to F6 instead, and that way we can force our way up into these locations to see where the Japanese is going to go. 9-1 and 2 squads. We don't want to get potentially attacked by 2 units, so we're just going to move here. And if he wants to fire 4+1 on us, so be it. He needs to roll 5 for a morale check. We're probably going to win that sort of situation there. This unit can assault move advance phase. I mean, they could really pressure this unit if they wanted to, considering these units are broken. So that might be something for the Americans to consider, maybe to move over here to go further away from these units. Matter of fact, we will split. Again, to protect our units over here. But the leader will move here to give us more firepower upon anybody that sticks behind over here. Again, it stops this unit from moving here freely and getting behind us. He'll have to take a longer route, which means I could fire on him at N5. Choice is his. All right. Very cool. So that's it for the American turn. Let's look what the Japanese can do. All right. Flip this bad boy over. Japanese player turn 1. Let's get a little bit better view on this. This guy's not final fired anymore. We're not pinned anymore. We have a rally phase. The only persons to need to rally are these units back here. Our leader needs a 4. And he rolls an 11. So that's it for the American rally potentials. And CX still maintained on these units here. So the Japanese, do we wish to attack anybody in our line of sight? We have 1 unit in our line of sight. Don't think we're going to attack. I think we're just going to skulk. I think we're going to go here and here. The Japanese. These units, since no one's in this position here, I think we're just going to run across the way. 1, 2. And be done with that. This unit's fine here. We're in a decent location. This 348 we might need to conceal. Or perhaps we could send the 348 around. Because his firepower is not going to be that great. Matter of fact, what we'll do is 1, 2, 3, 4. This unit will instead go 1, 2, 3 here. And then this 348 will go 1, 2, 3 at this location here. And why I'm going to do that is I'm going to get this LMG in this 447's hands. So when the Americans come by, this 447 will be able to yield a 12 firepower attack. Right here, we're losing firepower. We're losing firepower from this stack here. And I can advance in there, and in the rally phase, I can give that guy an LMG. And then this is still the same defensible location as this is right here. And we can combine fire groups with these units here. Actually, we'll have lots of units to have fire group. So that makes F5 a dangerous position to get into. The American will have to choose how he's going to approach this particular corner. There might be lots of firepower, considering there's 2 support weapons to deal with. That might be a potential 12 shot +1 with multiple avenues of attack. All right, so that's 1 movement phase on those units. This unit will go 2, 3, 4, 5, and 2, 3, 4, 5 at this location here, off board. Okay. This 448 here. See, the one thing about the Japanese units is the Japanese can actually stay in the open ground. And if the Americans come up here, what that allows us to do is fire at 12 firepower instead of 6 firepower. And even if we lose our concealment, typically the worst thing that's going to happen to this unit is he's going to have to take a morale check, which he has 8 morale. Maximizes his morale for this particular instance. If he fails morale, he still has firepower. And then the Americans can either jump into close combat, which unfortunately won't be any ambush, which you probably want to have, or he'll stay away. So because it's going to be the Americans' turn, he's probably not going to move in the open. He'll probably go to K3 and maintain that position. So he's going to move 4 movement factors up the hill to K3. That's going to use all of his movement factors. He'll be seen by this unit here. Huh. That's interesting that mini machine gun covers a lot of this particular direction. He'll even cover this hex right here. So we can't even move in. That is +2. So if we go 2 and then advance, we can't shoot at the 9-1 in this direction, but we can assault move over here because that takes all of our movement factors away. A shot here would be 2. 2 even. All right. let's try this out. Since we have a conglomeration of Japanese units right here, very strong, Americans are not going to penetrate up because he'll get collapsed upon. We're going to assault move here. If he should happen to shoot us at half firepower, he'll lose concealment. I'll lose concealment. But then if he wants to prep fire on me, I mean, he's going to be a 3 firepower even. That's going to be a 2 chart. I'll take a 2 chart and he'll lose concealment. And then if he assault moves, then I can blast him with full firepower. This is kind of a risk. If you want to play passive, you can just go here and then advance phase. But that doesn't cause the Americans to lose concealment because he can simply assault move here. And then this unit could assault move here. So you might want the American to lose his concealment because it's going to be a little bit more difficult for him to regain it. So he's going to move there. I think the MMG is going to stick where he is and the mortar is going to stick where he is as well. It'll be 4 movement factors up here. He can't assault move. 2-6, he can't assault move either. But I think we will move him back to this location. That way we can have a giant fire group, which means F5 is not going to be an option for the American. So that's that. Defensive fire. The only defensive fire possible here is probably going to be our 667 over in this general direction. And I think we'll have to take that shot, to be honest with you, because we need to find the Japanese and we need to eliminate them. Passive play is not going to get us anywhere for the Americans. We are going to take that shot at 2 even. And we roll a 3. Wow, man, these guys are not messing around. That will be a 1 morale check on the Japanese unit. So this guy should take it pretty easily. But we roll an 11, which is not an ELR failure, even at a 4. So he's step reduced as well. So both of our elite units are step reduced. Well, that's not good. That's a good shot. All right, that's the only shot from the Americans. Again, no one on the ridge for him to shoot at. So we have advanced fire. For the Japanese, the only unit firing back, he might as well fire back. So it's 1.5. He might as well fire the LMG as well. 2.5 plus 1 on the Americans. Low charts. Roll 6, cowers down to 1. So that will be in no effect. So at this point, maybe it'd be good for the Americans or the Japanese just to filter this way and maybe move around the backside. So that's what we're going to do here. All right, so advance phase for the Japanese. We're going to advance him here in case this guy wants a double time. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 4, 6, 8. Advance. And then he's going to... That's not going to be a lot of firepower. That's the problem. All right, we're gonna be a little bit conservative and move there. We're gonna have to make the Americans try and figure out what's going on here. Here, the 348 will advance in this location. These guys will maintain. Actually, these guys might switch. No, I think we're fine. These guys here swap locations, maybe, or just stay point blank. There are lots of Americans here. That's going to be a 6 up 1 up on the top of the hill. That's not so good. Again, lots of American firepower. I'm thinking about moving to E5. The leader doesn't do us any good there. Leader doesn't do us any good here because the Americans will shoot in the advanced fire phase, reveal him and jump him in close combat. Probably eliminate the unit. So we want to keep range. We want to keep away from the Americans. because unlike the Raiders, all these Americans will have a 3-2 advantage on our units. And so I'm going to bait. I'm going to put this unit in the open. So if the Americans come up here, we could fire upon them from these guys over here. Yeah, so we're going to try that. All right. So let's go ahead and go directly to, we have concealment gains for the Japanese. The unit over here will gain concealment. Out of line of sight of all enemy units. This unit's on level 1. All these woods will block line of sight to his location. There is no line of sight from here to here because of those woods. Pretty easy to see. This unit will also gain concealment. Out of line of sight. And everyone else is concealed. Let's see what happens over here. We need to break some units. If you could break some American units, it will slow their advance. So let's get to the American turn 2. All right, here we are on the American side. Flip the turn marker. Plop her down. Again, 6 turns, not a lot of time. Not a lot of time. So you need to make sure you're destroying as many of these guys as possible. So rally phase, we need an 8 on this leader here. He needs to get up and moving. And we have a 7, so he's good. And we need an 8 for the unit below him because the leader prevents the self-rally penalty, and he rolls a 10. He is not up and going. So looks like by default of the Americans move, our Japanese are crushing in the back. So it looks like we might need to press. Again, this unit on the side over here might make an end around. 1 movement phase, 2 movement phases, he can get over here. So I don't think these units can move at all. All right, so let's see what we got going. We got a broken unit here. We got some units here that need to move up. I'm thinking we take these units here and move on this unit, on this concealed unit, and try to blast him. He's only got 4 firepower now. 4 + 1 shouldn't be a problem. He'll need a 5 for a morale check. I think we should be okay in approaching K5. Excuse me, in approaching K5 and getting an attack off on this unit. 1 unit might have to lose his concealment. Actually, he's already got his concealment lost. The other one might have to lose his concealment as well, unfortunately. Potentially, we can move here and then here on top of the hill. So we can command movement in this area. Even if he has to counter exhaust, the 9-1 can also go here and then advance up the hill. That way we're not stacked together when he defensive fires upon us. And then we could maintain a presence here. The CX unit can possibly go here if necessary. The medium machine gun most likely will come down the road and avoid this MF nightmare here. The 10-2 and these units here can drop smoke in G6 if necessary to avoid possible fire from that unit here. These units, I think they're just going to press. They're going to press. And if anybody breaks, they can possibly route over here. So if this unit can't see him, yeah, he'll be 1, 2, 3, 4. So these would be 5. So anybody that breaks here, 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 and here can route this direction to the 10-2, which means the 667s need to move first in our equation. These guys need to move first. So if they survive, that means our 10-2 can move second and drop smoke instead of being pinned down, and then he could possibly do a maneuver in that general direction. If he goes into G6 or G7 by himself, he's only got 1 unit that can fire at him. Only 1 unit can fire at him. So minimizing the number of shots your enemies can take on you. Extremely important in keeping your troops alive. Yes, it might be a medium machine gun. Yes, he might get rate of fire, but we're Americans. We have 3 smoke making capability. If we can't get smoke in one of these locations because our CX status is going to be gone, then that's just part of just rolling bad. So we're going to get smoke in one of these locations, if not both locations. And the 10-2, he himself can make his way over there, which would really pressure over here. But I'm not so sure that that might be the case because, again, we're looking at time and we need to bust these guys' butts. Otherwise, they're just going to skulk back and slink back to the corner. So you might need to smoke into F5, jump up there. Maybe these guys fire. And then if that's the case, then any succeeding American units that enter these locations that could fire on any one of these locations fires there instead of here, because we can close combat that guy. This guy is not of prime importance. Damaging these guys in the back is, because that allows us to approach. The same problem with the 348s. They've just lost a column of firepower by losing the morale, by failing the morale checks by some sort of miracle. I'm not sure what the heck happened with that. But that's what we need to look at. So the Americans will not prep fire anyone because no one's in line of sight. And again, we'll go to movement phase. Over here, the 9-1 really doesn't have an impact on this, the coordinated 3 region, 3 platoon movement options. So we're going to see what happens over here, which will dictate where this leader goes. This squad medium machine gun can still, you know, assault move advance phase up here and still be done with it, or just simply move 2, 4, 5 on the path, anticipating the 10-2 making his way over here. So again, if that unit breaks, if the medium machine unit breaks here, he has an 8 morale on the backside. He'll be DM'd. He simply routes back 1 location. He needs a base 4, 1 for the jungle, 2 more for the leader. Means he needs a 7 to rally in the Japanese player's turn. So even though we run to H5 and get blasted, which again removes the concealment from the enemy unit, that will give us an advantage. So at this point, the medium machine gunner could move up here, draw this unit's fire, and then smoke, and then we could possibly simply advance here into the smoke. Now we can fire upon these units in the advanced fire phase. That's probably going to be the plan because we are out of line of sight to this unit. That's not in line of sight, and only 1 unit can fire on us, and that's either going to be, not the LMG. We already know where the LMGs are. So that's either going to be a mortar or medium machine gun. Either one's could be a mortar or medium machine gun. And if this one's the mortar here, he will not have an air burst because it's only 1 hex away. So interestingly enough, that's probably an aggressive action, and I think we need to take it as the American. Now, you're probably not going to move all of them together at one. You're going to wait for the smoke. If the smoke happens, then you can simply move a unit up there. Doesn't really matter. And so we can go with that. And split them up anyway, just in case he gets a lucky roll, which the rolls have been super good so far. So that's what we're going to do. And because this unit, we're gonna try and prep this unit to fire, because if he does fire, these units here can then move up to here and pressure their main force. And if we can destroy their main force, then these guys are easy pickings. The guys on the outside are easy pickings. So we're gonna try that. So medium machine gun, although the medium we don't really want to move up there, we are going to bait the shot. So we're going to go 2. Actually, that's 4. So that's about all the farther he can move, to be honest with you. All right, so 2, 4. So be it. I thought he could move further. He could technically CX. 2, 4, 5. He'd only have 5, and that's how much he would have anyway. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. You know what? We're gonna move the leader. This unit might rally first. Now you know what? We're gonna drop smoke first from the 10-2. CX is gone. The reason why we're gonna drop smoke first is that way this leader or the units can move behind it and get over there easy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 instead of 2. I guess it's the same, but the medium might be able to be in a better position to shoot these units if they get shot. So we're going to try to smoke test attempt placement into G6. All right, so I would just checked to see the usefulness of smoke grenades going up a hill. In ASL, there is a rule that essentially, even if you succeed, there's a 50% chance of placing it up a hill. In SK, I couldn't find anything under grenade or smoke which has a subsequent die roll to place into G6. So these units are concealed right now. They will attempt smoke placement into G6. They're all going to move. Let's move them all as a stack. So 1 through 3. He rolls a 4. The second unit can place smoke with the same movement factor expenditure. And he rolls a 5, so there's no smoke from these imbeciles. So that's 2 movement factors. That really sucks the big egg. So in that case, we're going to, I really don't want to take all that fire, and I don't want a -2 shot. We could go back here and then take shots over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Only one of those units would possibly be in line of sight. Which we will do. We'll go up here for 4. So I don't think that unit. Yeah, he can possibly see it. So at 4, we're going to open up with a mortar, and we're going to check a line of sight right there. And that's clear as a bell. Yep, because it's going to hit right here. 1, 2, 1, 2, right in the middle. Clear this. Mortar shot. Mortar shot on that. So again, base 7 mortar shot. Units are moving into the F7 woods. Non-assault movement and no terrain effect modifier. So let's fire away. And the concealment's gone. He rolls a 5 for the mortar shot that will hit. So we'll go a 2 -1. And we'll get an acquisition on that. Wow, that's what happens when you don't roll your smoke. You put yourself in a bad situation. Roll 5, 4 on the 2 shot, which is a 1 morale check. Wow, this is going south real quick. 10 -2 leader rolls an 8, piece of cake. And these guys will need 8s to pin. How about a 10? And a 5, so 1 will break. Man, if we didn't have these guys break, and their assault fire will dominate. All right, we will be able to take another shot because we've got rate of fire for the Japanese. And we expended 4 movement factors there. Take another shot. We roll an 11. And that thing does not malfunction on an 11. But he is first fired. We're not going to fire the squad yet. We don't really need to. And it's out of range, and he's at a 10 morale. Unlikely that we're going to have an impact. We do swap that to a -2 acquisition for the Japanese unit there. All right, so let's get some more success from some other American fire. He is exposed, and he has fired. Okay, we're going to do this. We could combine fire. That's gonna be a 4 shot. That'll be a 4 shot. Do we need to move the leader? 2, 4. 2, 3, 4. We don't want to be in normal range of the unit. No problem there. We're going to move these units into H7, attempt smoke into G8. And he rolls a 6, so they can't even advance. The Americans are floundering on their rolls. Floundering. So do we push it? Do we push this? So right now, we know this is a medium machine gun right here in the middle. Medium machine gun in the middle, but he's an LMG. We know that. He's an LMG, which we were going to swap in the rally phase. So we'll swap those guys in the rally phase. So we know these are the LMGs, and there's our mortar, so that's the medium machine gun. Which means if we can get close, then we can engage that guy in close combat and vaporize him. But we need to get there. And we need to take an 8 firepower. There'll be 8 plus 2 right here, so that's a 2, 6. We're going to do it. We're going to go 2, and then 6 right here. And then he will have to take a shot. This is going to be a first fire shot. 8 firepower plus 1. If we were in the light jungle, it would be no modifier. So this is an 8 firepower plus 1, the best that we've had so far for the Americans. And the Japanese do have a decent rate of fire weapon right here in this medium machine gun. All right, first shot. He rolls a 4, no rate of fire on the 8 shot. Wow, that's a 2 morale check. All right, 7 for the leader. Leader rolls a 6. And 2 morale check for the squad. Makes it a base 5 with a -1 leadership modifier. He needs a 6 to be pinned. And he rolls a 3 and is 100% okay. Wow. That was a great shot from the Japanese. Now he might want to consider intensive firing in the weapon, because he will be most likely... and there's 4 residual there. This American's moved. These guys, he's not going to be able to fire over there anyway. This unit hasn't moved. He won't be able to make up there unless he counter exhausts. All right, we will intensify, or not intensify, sustain fire the machine gun at the second movement factor. That will be a 4 plus 1. He rolls a 6, a 7 on the 4 chart is a pin task check. Good enough. A 9 for the leader. Leader rolls a 4. Squad needs an 8. He rolls an 8, so he's fine. All right, that was the second movement factor. We're going to sustain fire again on the third movement factor. An 8. That will yield no result. 8 plus 1 will be a 9 on the 4 chart. No effect. And on the fourth movement factor, he'll fire again. He rolls a 7. Means an 8 on the 4 is a pin task check. Leader, 9 morale, rolls a 5. Squad needs an 8 to pin. No, it's a pin task check. He rolls an 8 and is not pinned because he passes the pin task check. So the Japanese, he only drops 4 residual at that location because that's the strongest firepower that he has. So that's all we got from that. Let's remove that for some reason. So 4 shots and 8 firepower and 3 4 firepower shots. I did not roll a 9 on the medium machine gun, did not break the weapon, but did get lots of shots, did have a decent possibility of having an effect on the American. So he's final fired on that, which means if he fires again, it'll be final protective fire. So let's move the Americans on the left-hand side, I think. So the Japanese unit over here can't possibly reach me over here. So the 667, do we engage this unit over here? We're good on the top. We won't be able to route back to a leader, possibly. If we break here, the leader could advance here, and we can go here, but then he can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and really pressure us. So I don't think we can afford to have the 667 broken, at least from this location. We don't care if he advances on us if we move over here, because we're still in good order. But do we want to prevent that unit from going this way? We'd love to get here, but that will counter-exhaust us. You know what we will do is we will move forward to this location. No one is in our line of sight. He's at a lower level, and then possibly we can move this unit up here and this unit up here later on, just so we have a little bit of insurance from this direction. Excuse me. All right. Funny thing is, the guys that needed to move first didn't move first in our equation because we needed the smoke first, which completely failed. All right, but we did get some information on the Japanese forces. Just the mortar first fire, not the squad. So we do have a squad here. We're going to be taking a 4-shot and probably 2 squads here. Danger zone in D5. C5 might be an option. Or just an end around. We do have the 10-2 in the middle. It might be able to punish this unit. An end around, what does the end around give us? Does that really give us anything? This is turn 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in advance, and we would not lose our concealment by any stretch of the imagination. We still won't be able to see any Japanese movement, unfortunately, up on the hill. So we'd have to counter-exhaust. We do have 3 units. I think we try to assault this unit up here. That'll be 6 movement factors to get up there. It'll be 1, 2, 3 to move here. Okay, so let's do this. We're going to take this 667 here. Actually, we're going to take this 667. And we're going to move here for 2 and drop smoke into C5 for 4. Oops. Die goes crazy. Let's try the green die. That's what we needed. We needed the green die to drop smoke. So we do have infantry smoke here. That's good to go. And so that's good. He maintains his concealment because he didn't perform an action in the line of sight of an enemy unit. So this unit has moved. Let's just turn it sideways. He has moved. These units can move here. 2, 3. Right. All right. This unit will go 1 and then 2, 3 up the hill, because the path essentially makes that and negates essentially the jungle, and then the smoke will add 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So he's expended 3 movement factors here. He loses his concealment because he moved in the sight of this guy, and this guy will take a shot. This will be an 8. Non-assault movement negates the woods. +2, 8 + 2 shot. And he's expended 3 movement factors. 8 + 2. He rolls a 5, makes it a 7 on the 8. Man, the Japanese are really good. 1 morale check. American rolls a 7 and fails. Wow, this is not... Can't pass a morale check. All right, so that's the first shot. Residual left behind is what, gentlemen? 8 firepower, half that's 4. And then, oh, the smoke doesn't make a difference because it's not between it. So it should be 4. Because the smoke will have an effect upon it. It's not between the target. All right, so 4 firepower there. Problem is, this guy, we need to get up there to shoot him. So we don't want to be in D5. We can get this location here. That's the best spot. but we'll have to be counter-exhausted to do so. Two, three, 4, 5, 6. Well, we've already got 2 broken units here. We need to get up there. He's gonna move. He's gonna go 1. He's gonna move 2. Essentially, he'll be seen. He's gonna take a chance. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for the smoke. All right, first things first, the smoke, the 4 firepower goes off. Here, the smoke will add to the modifier. The squad moving into the non-assault movement into the jungle negates one another. So this will be a 4 plus 2 attack. Because the residual fire is not reduced by the smoke. 4 plus 2 attack from the Japanese. And he rolls a 3. Holy shit. 1 morale check. All right, this might be very short for the Americans. He rolls a 6, so he is pinned. So, now the Japanese player may fire, and he will subsequent for fire. He won't fire. He's going to wait until the smoke dissipates because he's first fired, and no other American units have moved. This leader here, he's going to move here. And this unit has already been moved, so we're just going to straighten him out. You could assault move there, not really, just assault move. If you're going to move 1 hex, just assault move, just by default, just in case someone can see you, sort of like the 10-2 over here. So that's what we got going on there. Wow. All right, so let's spin around and check it from the Japanese perspective. All right, so here we are here. Residuals are gone. It's going to be the defensive fire phase. Smoke is gone, which is what we were waiting for. Now this unit here can then final fire. On both units will be a 4 plus 1. He rolls an 8, which will have no effect upon the American units there. He's final fired. Obviously, he doesn't fire. This unit is final fired and may not fire again in the defensive fire phase, so he is done. This unit has no target. That's not necessarily true. He does have this unit as a target. No, he doesn't, because that blocks line of sight. My bad. All right, no other Japanese defensive fire. Let's spin it around for the American advanced fire phase. All right, the Americans, we're going to remove the final fires. Actually, the 447 here can take a shot over here. That's going to be a 2 firepower plus 1. I forgot that the squad wasn't marked. He rolls an 8 for no effect. All right, let's do the Americans here. We'll start on this side. We'll start here. He'll fire point blank, doubled and halved. 6 firepower plus 1 makes it 7. This unit is CX plus 1 from there. It's going to be a 6 plus 2, and he's halved again. So actually be 3, 4, be a 4 plus 2 shot from the American. No, wow, that goes down south. Wow, and he rolls a snake eyes, and so that cowers down to a 2 plus 2 is a 4, is a 1 morale check on the 447. And he rolls a 9, does not ELR failure, but he does step reduce. Wow, this is, God, the Japanese are just missing everything, and so are the Americans. He who shoots first wins. This unit is pinned. And that's it for this unit. The 10-2, he cannot fire over here because these woods interdict. He can fire on the 228 here, or he could fire on over here. So what we're going to do is we're not going to fire the 10-2 first because he has 2 targets. He has this unit and he has this unit. The medium machine gun has a high rate of fire, and we just saw that it fired 4 shots with no problem. The 9-1, the 667 only have 1 target, and that's our 228. So we're going to fire him first, because if we step reduce him, we can eliminate him I believe we can eliminate him from the 10-2 shot over in that same direction. I think he only's got just the one. He's eliminated after that, I believe. Let me check the step reduction chart. Actually, we'll just break the unit. Maybe, hold on. Let me double check the crew. Yeah. The crews break the step reduced to 128. They drop to a... No, they should be eliminated. A reduced crew is replaced by a broken reduced quality crew 127. Oh, that's kind of cool. So they need to fail twice. So we will fire. We'll fire the 9-1 first anyway. 7 firepower, -1. Don't need to know he's an American leader -1 because I can look on the counter. Same thing with the American 10-2 leader. And the American 8-0 leader. It just obscures the screen. So when you hover over it, you don't have to worry about it. So it's a little bit better. American 410 machine gun, same sort of thing. There's a little paste. Those are unnecessary. Okay, so we've got a 6 even shot on that 228. 6 even rolls an 11, no effect. So what we will do is we will fire our 667 back at the 447 at a 4 firepower because this guy's firepower is going to remain the same if he gets step reduced. He's still going to have the medium machine gun. This 667, if he fires the 447, he will lose firepower. He'll go down to a 3. He doesn't have a support weapon that he can combine his fire attack with. And so it will actually make movement across here much safer. So he's going to fire there at a 4 -1. And he rolls a 5. Taken down -1 makes it 4. Same result. 1 morale check. The Japanese roll a 7. Barely fails. Wow. All right. So we did reduce the firepower there. And we may make a decision right here. This could be critical here. If we go into here and break, then we're fine. We're fine there. So that's advanced fire there. Americans have no other advanced fire. Route phase. This unit's going to go 2, 4, 6. 2, 4, 6. Can we get them both and rally them both without being threatened? Yes, I think we can. What we're going to do is we're going to go 2, 4, 6. He's going to go 2 here. The 10-2 is going to route with that unit. 667 remains here. Right? So that's the routing there. 2, 4, 6. He doesn't see any units over here, so but he can't move parallel to this unit because there's an enemy unit. But he could try to rally both of them. And then what we have is we're going to pressure the Japanese. We are going to jump this guy into close combat. That might be a mistake, but that's where we're going. Because we might have a problem if we move there and then the Japanese player decides to fire upon us and break us. We need to make sure we protect our flank so we can route back. So the 667 must advance into this location to stop this 348 from moving here and causing this unit to have to route or failure to route, because if he goes this way, this unit is going there, so that unit would be eliminated. You have to move the 667 right there. Now this unit here can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but it doesn't matter because he can't see them. So, but we need to put this unit here because that saves the 9-1 from a potential break and death situation. which we don't want to trade a 9-1 and 667 for a stinking 228. All right. Hopefully this guy will be eliminated in close combat. And then we'll pick up the medium machine gun. So back here, the 8-0 will advance back onto the unit here. We need to get this guy rallied. Again, we don't need that erroneous information. We really don't care. This unit will advance here, up on the hill. The 667 here will move to this location. That's only going to be a 2-shot. And this is a 2-1. We don't want to deal with a 2-1. You can't, the track can't follow him. It should be a big one, but I'm not going to make it big. There's only one targeted thing. And then here, he's pinned. Same sort of situation. 1, 2, 3. We don't want that to happen. So these units are going to advance into D5. The reason why I'm going to D5 now, you say, hey, Stu, you just expose him to all types of fire. Right. Problem is, this guy's hopefully will be eliminated. Now the Japanese player has to make a decision. Fire on the guy right in front of us, or a concealed unit that's 4 hexes away. Likely the shot will go to H4. That's the general idea. Is these shots will ring out into H4, and these units will be untouched, or at least with concealments, less likely to be damaged, even by a point-blank shot from a newly reduced 347. If we didn't reduce him, this would be a 4 firepower plus 1. Now it's a 2 plus 1. Big difference on the low end of the scale, people. And this pin is now removed from this unit. He is CX'd, but we don't have to worry about being CX'd because most likely this unit is going to be shredded with a couple 12 firepower shots to be eliminated. Again, they have to be pretty much eliminated, and so you've got to penetrate these guys as fast as possible. Broken units next to the road still satisfy their victory conditions. All right, let's head on to Japanese turn 2. Flip that bad boy over. The rising sun is shining brightly. All right, we have that 8+1 leader over on this left side over here. We can't forget him. 348 here that can do some damage. But for right now, the rally phase, the Japanese have none. The Americans have... What do we need to roll here, people? Okay, I'm not sure why that didn't zoom in. 8 morale, +4, -1, -2. Need a 7. 2 7s. Can we roll 2 7s? There's a 3. There's a 7. That's why they pay the 10 -2 leader to do this. Could we use them to up here to do firepower? Yeah, but these guys need to be up and going. And now they are. And now again, you've got a full strength units on this side, ready to go, ready to penetrate. Oh, matter of fact, we forgot a close combat over here. Okay. Modifiers. The crew. Let's look to see if the crew has any modifiers in close combat. I'm not so sure about that. It's so jungle they get +1. And then ambush. Let's see. That's hand-to-hand close combat. Each Japanese, for every Japanese pinned, hand has not allowed reduced strength retains full close combat value. Where's the -1 for Japanese? Is there no -1? Have I been doing that one wrong, gentlemen? That's just an ambush. Oh, good order elite and first line infantry units. Is the 228 an elite unit? Including crews and leaders. So it has crews and leaders. So yeah, so the leaders and crews will be considered elite units. Therefore, he has a -1 ambush die roll modifier unless he's part of a bonsai charge. Huh, interesting. That doesn't really apply anyway. All right. -1. Americans have -1 leader. Raider, -2. +1 for jungle. So we have a net -1, net -1. We're even. We're even. Let's see what happens here. So we roll a 6 for the Americans, of course, and a 5 for the Japanese. No ambush. The Americans have a 7-to-2 ratio. So that will be a 3-to-1, -1 for the leader. 3-to-1 base number is an 8. We roll an 8. The -1 will eliminate the Japanese unit. So he'll be gone. He has a 2-to-7, 1-to-4 attack. He needs a 3 for a result. And he rolls an 8. He does not get in each Japanese hand-to-hand. No, it's hand-to-hand combat. So it's not hand-to-hand combat, so it doesn't get the -1. So the medium machine gun is down, and the Japanese unit is eliminated. We'll just move him over here. One guy gone. And rally phase, the unit will try to pick up the medium machine gun. What do we need to pick it up, gentlemen? What do we need to pick up the medium machine gun? I rolled a 6. Does that do it? Oh, hell no. What would we need to pick up the medium machine gun? Anything but a 6? Or does the jungle have something to do with it? Jungle adds +2 to the recovery die roll, but the 9-1 can try to pick it up. And he rolls a 5 as well, so he gets nothing. So the medium machine gun is unpossessed, unfortunately. All right, so Japanese turns. Rally phase for him, nothing. Prep fire phase. What do we fire at, gentlemen? Do we fire the mortar here? And these guys across the street? Does this guy fire first? Does he... He's going to get shot either way. Actually, the Americans gain concealment. That unit, I don't think will be blocked. The 10-2 will gain concealment from last turn. This, I don't believe, is blocked. The thread will come right here in the center. Gonna go from right here to there. Let's check it anyway. I've got a thin circle I can draw from. Are we in, where are we? We're in E4. Thin line. Here's the line. So that will block. That will be the center about right there. That's going to catch a lot. Even if I'm off a little bit over here. Matter of fact, we'll just move our unit. Yeah, even if we move it down just a little bit, it's going to catch it. So, wow, I actually thought that was kind of clear, to be honest with you. So, tight LOS. And actually, it's a pretty decent LOS string right there. I have to admit, I wasn't impressed with the other line that the have, but I think Tabletop Simulator reduced this pen size to very small, which makes it a very good line of sight tool. To be honest with you, that looks much more like a thread than the 1 pixel wide thing we have in Basel. But that's beside the point. So this leader is going to move. He's going to get out of dodge. Most likely he's going to move back here for safety, and then possibly get around here to help some units. I think this unit is a stand and die. He can't go to either one of these positions without being shot, unless we could break these units, and then we have a free move here to get out of this line of sight, and then we could advance fire. That's a long shot, but we'll take it with the mortar. We'll go ahead and prep fire that mortar, because the mortar is only going to be a +2 to hit, because of the concealed target, and the mortar will fire, and we need a base 5 to hit, so we'll flip this over, and yeah, let's do it, baby. Let me move these guys back a little bit. We'll put that there. All right, so the mortar needs a 5, prep fire phase, and we do have a rate of fire too, so that's nothing to spit at. Or Hear me out. What else could that mortar do? We could drop a smoke right here and then advance him through, which is exactly what we're going to do. Know your weapons. Almost forgot. Smoke. 3 to 9. 3 to 10. Right here. 3 to 10. Let's look what the star says. 3 to 10, okay? We should do this before the game, and it will give a... This is going to be the chapter notes for the Japanese ordnance. The following special rules apply to the use of HE or smoke for the Japanese unit. You see HE range less than or equal to 2, 1 rate of fire. White phosphorus has to be fired within a range of 1 to 5, 1 rate of fire, and smoke 3 to 10. So when firing HE, it's a smoke can only be fired at a range of 3 to 10. I'm not sure why that little star is there. Usually it means something else. I mean, 3 to 10 is pretty obvious. White phosphorus. Yep. Oh, so the white phosphorus is probably the star. That's the star's probably on the supposed to be on the white phosphorus. So on the white, yeah, this counter is incorrect. White phosphorus can be fired at a range of 1 to 5 hexes. Reduces the rate of fire to 1 for that shot. And it's considered dispersed even in the prep fire phase. And air bursts are not applicable. Well, to the white phosphorus, my bad. To the white phosphorus, the air burst is not applicable. So it doesn't reduce the modifiers for that. So we can fire the smoke, and the smoke has a rate of fire of 2, which means we could fire the smoke upon this unit. The reason why we're firing it here instead of here is why. Because he has no line of sight here from his concealment. Oh, but yeah, his concealment game, there is no line of sight. So that gave us information to conceal that unit. So there's no line of sight there, but he has line of sight here. If we fire smoke over here, the unit will have to go 2-4 and then advance. But I think we would just want to move him over here. All right, so we're going to fire smoke. Actually, what we're going to do is we're going to fire smoke at this location. And that doesn't show it. Well, that's cool. Oh. That's new. Alt does that. We're going to fire the smoke on top of D4. And the reason why is if we fire the smoke because it's successful and we get rate of fire, then we could fire the mortar and all these units on this unit without the effect of the smoke being here. So we're going to obscure this hex. Let me make it bigger. We're going to obscure this hex so he can't fire on us here, but that will allow us to fire on these units if we get rate of fire. And the 347 can fire there anyway, and these units can fire there as well. So picking selecting your target is also very important. So we're going to drop it right on top of the 347. All right. I need a 7 plus 2 because it's smoke, but our smoke depletion is 7 anyway, so you need a 7. And he rolls a 10. We don't have any smoke. All right. So in that case, 4. And we don't have rate of fire. We didn't get the rate of fire, so the mortar is done. That was the idea, gentlemen. Now we can choose to prep fire if necessary. And I think we will. I think we're going to prep fire on this unit because now we can't get away. We do have a 1 smoke exponent, but that's not going to do us any good. It's either 6 minus 2 or 6 minus 1. I'd rather take a 12 plus 1 and we have a chance. Plus, if we break an American unit, that slows him down because he needs to be doing stuff. We don't need to be doing stuff. He needs to be doing stuff. So we're going to take that shot. You know, you could assault move here or assault move here, and then advance phase down. If you advance phase down, then you're going to have the same result because he's just going to move up. He might move this way and take a shot there. But I really don't want the 6+1 or 6 even shot here. 6 even or 12+1. Actually, it's a better shot. That is a better shot. All right, we'll take the 6 even shot here. We're going to assault move here. Actually, we made prep fire. My bad. We still have more prep fire. All right. 12 firepower +1. This will be 16. It's only one more chart. This is 2 even. 2, 3, 4, 2 even. And we could possibly move this 3, 4, 8. I think we want to unstack this hex. We want to unstack that hex. We're going to fire the 12 firepower. Point blank. 12+1. We don't want to stack all our units in one hex and make it easy for the Americans. 12 firepower +1. Oops. 9 is a 10 on the 12 is a pintash check. We'll take it. 9 - 1 can fail. With a 5. 667 rolls a 10 and is pinned. So that at least pretty much doesn't completely destroy us. This unit does prep fire. We're going to have to copy this. Okay, we didn't get ready to fire. And I think that's all of our prep fire. Nope, 347 is going to prep fire. And he's going to fire down at the 667 down the street. That'll be a 2 firepower straight up. Japanese have been rolling well. 7 on the 2 is barely a miss. On the pintash checks are just as fine because that means the Americans' firepower is reduced. And our chances of surviving a return shot are far higher. Because that goes from a 6 shot to a 2 shot. So essentially it gives us a +200 defense every time we pin a unit. All right, so he's pinned. He's fired. Let's go to movement phase. All right, we got a leader over here. We got a broken unit over here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Still can't quite get to him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We could DM him if we CX this unit. And that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to move the 348. He's going to double time. CX unit right here. We're going to go 1. No American unit can see him. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. 2, 3, 4. Right. 8+1. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're probably going to join up here later. He's going to be out of movement range of that. That's going to be a problem for the Americans. Okay. All right, so right back here, we just put the pressure on the Americans. This guy's going to be DM'd. He's going to have to route away somewhere, perhaps. Otherwise, we simply advance on him. And we've got some Japanese coming from behind him. So some early breaks and some casualty reductions might be a problem for us back there. That might be the game for the Japanese. The Americans have to address that. All right, which means we need to force lots of things to happen as the Americans. The 8-0, if he moves down here, he's going to take some -2 shots, and he's going to lose concealment anyway. Huh. That smoke really would have been good, to be honest with you. He does have a factor of 2. Yeah, let's do it. We're gonna move the 348 first. He is going to drop smoke onto the 9-1 hex. He will lose concealment in so doing, but that gives our leader a chance to get across the street without getting shot at a -3. 348. And he rolls a 3, very close. This unit made defensive fire upon him. Not sure that he wants to do that. He is an 8 morale. We'd rather break the 447 and reduce his firepower. We won't fire upon this unit, so that's 2. I think we want to stay up on the hill. 4. 8. The 8-0 is probably going to lose concealment. I don't really see a way out of it. I don't see a way out of it for the leader. So we might as well get out of line of sight of everybody, only take 1 potential shot. He'll move here for the assault move. And that will be a -2 shot if we want to take it. And you know what? We will take it. You say, Stu, why would you take that -2 shot if you want to fire on this guy? Because these guys will be first fired, and we have leadership direction. And that means we could fire adjacent as well in the advanced fire phase with the -1 as well. So he's going to be pinned, so he'll be 3 firepower. -1 for moving the open. Let me get rid of that. -1 for moving the open. -1 for the leader. So that will be a 2-2. Wow. Who needs a 10-2 leader? All right, we roll 6 doubles, but they do not cower. That's going to be a 4 on the 2 chart, which would be a 1 morale check. 8-0 rolls a 12 and is eliminated straight up. So not a bad shot. Again, that's a special rule for the Japanese leaders. I'll read it to you. Let's find it. Here we go. Come on, next one up. Here we go. Here we go. Leaders 817 on page, God dang it, 29. A leader that rolls an original 12 on a morale check is eliminated simply because they roll casualty or morale check. It's like a double casualty. So as soon as he rolls a failure, he's a casual morale check, and you roll casualty anyway, so that's what kills the leaders very fast. It's at the last sentence of 817, first paragraph of 817, right in the middle of the page. A leader that rolls a original 12 on a morale check is eliminated. Highlight that in your rulebook. You will likely forget it. All right, we do leave residual firepower there. Yeah, so we'll put it because the 347 hasn't moved yet. What's the residual firepower? Is it 2? We fired out of 3. This will be a 1. 1 residual in that location. We'll take it because that means this unit can't go straight across. And although this unit can't subsequent first fire on him because this Japanese unit in 347 is much closer. But we will do the assault move here. Now that we've burned up his shot, and this unit will take that shot. Assault move, -1 open ground, +1 CX cancel one another. And he does fire 6 firepower even. And he rolls a 12, and that will yield no effect. Any assault move here, no other Japanese unit is going to move over there. That's it for the Japanese movement. So let's go to the American defensive fire. He's already fired. He's final fired. He's rolled a 12. These units will fire adjacent. That's going to be doubled, halved. So it'd be a 6, and then halved again because he's pinned. So that will be a 2 even shot on the 447. And we roll an 11, which will be no effect. All right. So he's actually the pin. Yeah, we pinned him on the prep fire shot. All right. This unit over here, we will not fire with the leader because we want the leader to stay alive. We're just going to fire the squad. We are going to fire the squad at the 347. Because if we reduce this guy to a half squad, that means he's lost 2 firepower. He can either fire the squad or the mortar. We'll fire 6+1 on that unit there. Rolls a 7 on the 6 chart. Pin task check. Japanese unit rolls for pin. 6, he's fine. So he's funnel fired. This unit down here will do the same thing. 6 firepower +1. 9, no effect. Medium machine gun has got nothing to do. These units are already fired. That's it. Let's go to the advanced fire phase. This Japanese unit might as well fire. And he might as well fire on the 9-1 central unit. That will be a 1 firepower +1. And he rolls a 4. It's a pin task check. American 9-1 rolls an 8. It's fine. The other unit is already pinned. You can get rid of this first fire as well. So he's fired. No other unit. This unit back here will fire on the broken unit to DM him. So he doesn't need to fire the. He might need to fire 1+2. He will need to fire the LMG in that shot. 3 firepower halved is 1.5. If he fires 1.5 up here, it'll be 1.5 +2, which will yield no result, no normal morale check. So he needs to fire the LMG as well. 1 firepower +1 is 2 firepower +2. That will yield a normal morale check without cowering. So we have to risk the LMG. And we roll a 5 +2, no effect on the result, other than to DM the unit. Mission accomplished for that unit there. Other Japanese units are done. He's the only one that hasn't fired. And that's it for the Japanese advanced fire phase. No, I don't want to pick up the 347. Route phase. We've got a unit over there. Seriously, just give me a count. There you go. Route phase. Where do we want around him? For the closest covers H7 or J8. Those are both acceptable locations. Since there are no other units over here, we're going to route him theoretically forward. We're going 2 and 4. We could go 5 as well. Yeah, we might as well move him 5. Put him centralized. He'll be a lot safer there. And yeah, the back is open. We have to deal with that. We simply have to deal with these units. It's going to make it difficult. It's coming up on turn 3. So that's it for the route phase. Advanced phase of the Japanese. You know what? We might as well move. Yeah, we'll move him down here versus C3. That way this unit can't assault move to that location. That means he has to move to get to me. So the other Japanese units, these units will come to L7. Yeah. They'll come to L7 at the end of the turn. This unit will gain concealment. And then the other advance is going to be... Let's back them up. Back them up All right. Good enough right there. Let's head on to the American. Turn 3. All right, American turn 3. Let's take a evaluation turn here. We're 1/3 of the way through the game. We need to see where we are in relation to the Japanese strength. We have a 3-4-7 on the upper left-hand corner. He's not satisfying any victory conditions now, but he is impeding some potential movement on a potential flank. Don't really think I'm going to run in the open ground anyway on that unit, but you never know what opportunities might arise. Matter of fact, I have to remove this pin. Thank you. Thank you for reminding me. And so don't really think that's a problem there. The machine gun, these units here are more of a threat to any advancement. Most likely we're just going to stay in the jungle. Probably just advance and take a couple shots to reduce these guys even more. If we can reduce them yet again, because we'll have 4 firepower in the advanced fire phase. As long as we don't break like we've been doing, then we'll have a good opportunity to take advantage of some weakened Japanese units. We have the 10-2 and his entourage here of ass kickers in E7. They need to enter the game without getting broken. So most likely these units are going to be up into F5. Could come over here to deal with these units, or otherwise do some major ass kicking. 9-1 in the center is commanding the Americans to victory. And we have a 667 beside him giving good support. He passed a couple key morale checks in the middle of the game. This bad boy here's passed a couple morale checks in the middle of the game. Very critical. Does not pin. Cowards pin. He does not pin. This guy's broken. This guy needs to be up. This 3-4-7 or half squad, whatever the hell he might be, can be useful during the end game. The 8-0, very useful in the end game. I love the American leader depiction. Just a beautiful artwork on there. And medium machine gun is yet to do anything. His firepower and the 667 here, I believe either him and the half squad will deal with these guys over here to keep them from the hill. We move to I-8. He's counter exhausted. That's going to be a 4+2 up on the hill. Don't care. It will take him longer to move around. We're going to defend the area here. If he wants to move down here, we could shoot every spot but J10. So if he wants to move to L10, we might be able to see that location. Probably not. Probably not. So we can actually move to I-7. And then he can go 2, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, he'd still screw us up. We're going to stay up on the hill. The 667 can go down here and move here to protect the entire flank over here. That will hopefully nullify the Japanese advantage. We don't really need to bother with him. Of course, if he moves at the end of the game, then we actually have to body block him because we need to double break him. So we may need to pursue that unit. The 8-0 will be key in getting that done. That's what his job's going to be. Or possibly even this 8-0 over here, but I doubt it. So he's going to be used for the 10-2. Yes, they could vaporize units, but he's been rallying units because we've been broken. He may actually have to come up here and get this 7-0 with this unit up here. I think he's very important in tracking these units down over here. So that will be, I think that will be very key. This, and again, both of these units here will be very key. So their value is high. So American player turn. Let's kind of tweak it so we can see it. All the units on the board. And we need to pick this up. And I think this guy just I think we need to find, first of all, first and foremost, rally phase. We need to rally this unit here. He needs a 7 + 4 -1 for the woods. So that's going to be a 4 for rally. And he rolls a 7. I rolled a 2. I saw the 2 on there. Very intrigued by that too. DM goes away. He'll be up in the Japanese turn. We actually want that non-DM status to be at the beginning of our turn. All right. 9-1, and the guy here going to try and pick up that weapon. +2, 1. We find the medium machine gun. All right. That will have a breakdown 2. That's going to be 8 firepower. 8 even. That's going to be a good shot. We might as well take that shot. Moving the machine gun nullifies its firepower. And if we break it, that means the Japanese can't use it ever again. So let's go ahead and prep fire that unit there. This guy will prep fire the other units. Again, if we prep fire and reduce that unit to a half squad, he has the mortar or the half squad's firepower. This 348 has very limited firepower over here. I believe the Americans, with the use of smoke, this unit can move here, drop smoke, and then this unit can penetrate forward and get up there. We can really get in his face this turn. And 10-2, Merrill himself will bring these guys 4, 5, 6. Maybe use the smoke, and then the advanced fire phase, vaporize everyone on the bridge. Or not on the bridge, but up on the hill ridge. And these units could then pursue, possibly go on the pursuit trail to these guys hardcore with the 8-0. Because the 10-2 or the 9-1 can come back, rally this unit. And because we'll probably just scoot this guy up forward, bring our units maybe even this close, and have 3 turns to vaporize all those units. Jump into close combat, throw units against the wall, and see what happens. So that's going to be the plan for this turn, and maybe the ensuing turn after that. So lots of units. So we're going to fire that 8 even shot first. He rolls a 5. That's a respectable roll. No rate of fire. The rate of fire on this weapon is what, gentlemen? What is the rate of fire and breakdown number on this weapon? Rate of fire for captured weapons is decreased by 1. He will have a 1 rate of fire. Breakdown is by 2 for captured weapon. It doesn't matter that he's not a non-crew. That only applies to Japanese units. Okay? So that's what we're dealing with. So a 5 even on the 8 chart is going to yield a 2 morale check. That's a 5. And he rolls a 7 and he fails. So his state goes here. Not sure why it's broken. And he is a 237 that can only fire the mortar. Still a potent weapon with that rate of fire of 2. Do not deny that. Other fire, the 667. Now, if he fires here at this unit, we can really get units right in front of him. And if we break him, there are no leaderships. There are no leaders left over to rally that unit. That'd be a 6+1 shot. That's something to consider. The advanced fire will still probably break him, but we won't take any mortar shots in the trees. Huh. Where does this, the key is where does this 667 needs to go? We've got some smoke making capabilities to drop here to get the 10-2 back up on the ridge and penetrating this way, or simply just a G6 to fire upon this unit later on. Again, this unit right here could go around the backside, so we can't ignore him either. But if we destroy the main group of the Japanese, getting these guys is going to be simple. So the next 2 turns, I believe we need to penetrate and destroy these units here as fast as possible, which means getting the 10-2 into the fight. We could always advance these units here. He could drop 2, 3, 4, and advance into this location or advance down here. think that would be a possibility. 1, 2, 3, 4, advance. Yeah, because we could actually get down there. Yeah, we'll do that. We're going to drop smoke from G7. Actually, without any other prep fire. Other prep fire. 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we're going to prep fire. No other prep fire. We got the 10 minus 2 in business. We're going to go straight to movement phase. G7 will attempt to smoke into G6. He rolls a 3. Do not underestimate the ability of Americans to drop smoke. So that is two movement factors. Technically, he could have dropped it on himself, but he dropped it there for 2. Will not fire the mortar. Will not fire the unit, and he will go. 3, 4 right there. 2, 4 advance. 2, 3, 4 advance. We don't really need to worry about that right now. We can't fire on him in M8. He can move around. We could still block him and essentially pin him down. Okay, I'm not going to worry about that for right now. I'm going to move him later. These guys up here are more important things to do. All right, so other movement. We have a mortar that could shoot at us. We have smoke that we could run through. 10 minus 2 can get here to rally that unit, so he only needs to get the G6. Yeah, so we can go to G6, take a shot at the 237, and then advance onto the 7 broken morale unit. But we need some smoke first. Will it do any good? 2, 3, 4. Will it do any good? 2. Huh. So we move him first and drop smoke into E4. If we advance there, it does no good. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 4, 5. Now we don't want to have the 10-2 stuck here. We don't want to be destroyed there. Yeah, maybe I should have shot at him. That's probably an error. I should have probably shot at him with 12 firepower. I don't see getting down to F3 because he didn't break. And if we go to F3, 4 minus 2, technically we could just low crawl. Yeah, we won't have to worry about it because this is starter kit, but I think he'll be safe. He's going to drop smoke into E4. And that way we can prevent some multiple -2 shots. He rolls a 4 and has no effect. At that point, since these units haven't moved, the mortar will fire on this unit. No, the 2 667s haven't moved yet. He's not going to move very far, so we're just going to 2, 3. And if he wants to fire at me here, he can't fire the mortar at these units here. But this 3, 4, 8 will fire 2 minus 2 right here. We don't care if we break, because we could always rally. He rolls a 9. -2 is a 7 on the 2 chart. Is a miss. So that's going to be a 1 residual as well. And 2, 3. And we're going to go 4 here. This unit can't subsequent for fire because you can't see him due to the palm trees at this location. That will block line of sight to the American unit right there. He can't see him. He could fire. Huh. I still think I'm going to hold my mortar fire, to be honest with you. We don't know where the Americans are going to go. We don't want them to go. I mean, that's 4-2. Does it do anything? Because he could just low crawl here. I don't really think it does anything. Actually, the mortar shot over here is far more valuable than this unit. If this unit jumps in close combat, he'll be counter-exhausted. So that's just going to be a 6+1 shot. All right, we're going to hold fire on that unit. All right, so the other units here, the 667 and the 80. In that case, the 667 will move. He'll move 1, 2, exact same thing. Actually, he's just going to stay here. So he doesn't have to move up on them. So he maintains his mobility in case he needs to move down here. He doesn't need to go to G4. That's going to be a 7 at 11 shot. That'll be an 8+1. We may have some other units up there as well. The 80 will move. We're going to assault move here in case these guys break later on. They can route to F5. The 10-2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's just going to move up here. He's going to move 2. We're going to move individually. 2, out of line of sight. 3, 4. This unit's going to move 2. He'll actually move with the leader. And then that'll be 6. Well, 2, 3, 4, 5. In that location, the leader will lose concealment because he's moved in the line of sight of an enemy unit. We're going to wait for that to dissipate before we take a shot at him. We can really pile up some units on that 3237 to eliminate him. He's already moved. It's important to move him there. The medium machine gun will move 2, 3. Lose concealment as well. Again, the +2. The 10-2 is a more important target. And then we have the 80 to move. I think we'll move him in just a moment. 667 here. If we move here, we'll be in line of sight of these units. We'll assault move here. That is line of sight. Because the hill, he's at level 1. He's at level 1. This is level 1, not dense jungle. If that were dense jungle, this would be blocked. This is at level 0 up to level 1. Again, at ASL, this would be blocked because jungles go up to level 2, and that would block the line of sight. In starter kit, it does not block line of sight. So right now, we have a big distinction between starter kit and ASL, just like we had in our first scenario in S65. The other distinction is throwing smoke up. Well, that we attempted was to throw smoke uphill. There's no distinction in starter kit. There is a distinction in ASL. So, and that has nothing to do with PTO. That's just the smoke grenade rules. So that is a huge distinction there. Okay, we can start this unit out here. Everyone else has moved. The 80 can move, and the 80 will move. He'll simply go 2, 3, 2, 3, 4 here. If he wants to tie up with the 667, you don't need to move here, because if this unit's moving over here, you just wait and then you advance on him here. You don't need to be in the movement phase. Again, just in case this 50mm mortar goes on a tear, you don't want him blowing all your units up for free. Do not give him the 8-0 target for free. He doesn't need to be there. You say, oh, you might need him to avoid the cowering. Don't give a shit. These are American units. You know, there's going to be 8 firepower from these 2 units plus 1. If I cower 1 chart, 6 chart. If I roll a 6, double 2 will give me a morale check. If I roll double 4, it's going to be off the chart anyway. If I roll double 2, it'll be a 1 morale check. If I roll snake eyes, he'll still be dead. So the cowering does not matter to those units unless they roll double 4. Double 5s are going to miss. Double 6 is going to miss. Double 4. So all the other doubles has very limited effect upon the cowering. You don't need to worry about the cowering in this situation. Okay? So that's it for the American movement. Smoke will dissipate. I just love smoke. Guys, place your smoke. It doesn't need to be identified as smoke. It's garbage. Place your smoke counters as often as possible. They're hugely helpful in getting units around the board. I can't stress that enough. Please try to get your smoke on the board as often as possible. Same thing with the Japanese mortar. I tried to use the smoke here to save a unit. It didn't work. The fire happened to be effective anyway, so you've always got the dice that you need to roll anyway. So these guys are gone. Those are pretty valuable units. So now we can fire the mortar. This unit may not fire anywhere. This unit can fire. He might as well, actually, he's going to fire when the assault moves in there. Why now? Why then instead of now? Because he used 2 movement factors. He's still going to be concealed. Instead of 1 shot, I get possibly 2 shots. Will not fire the LMG, will not matter. So that's going to be a 2 firepower plus 1. All right? Let's fire that shot first. 2 plus 1 rolls a 7. No effect. Will subsequent first fire to 1 plus 1. And rolls a 3. So that is a 4. That is a normal morale check. That misses. That is the difference of firing when he moves 2 movement factors or instead of in the defensive fire phase. That is the difference. He needs a 1 morale check. This guy's not scot-free. Even with concealment, that was a good assault. And he rolls a snake eye. So, yeah, he's pretty badass. So he makes it there. Those guys are pretty stalwart in the middle. All right, so that's it for the Japanese defensive fire. These guys have no targets on the bottom. These units on the right-hand side have no targets. And these Japanese units, actually the mortar. Sorry, my bad. The mortar. We do have white phosphorus. So what I will do, since he fired in the movement phase, in the defensive fire phase, and he subsequent first fired, so he's funneled. He's going to attempt a white phosphorus shot at the 10-2 leader. White phosphorus is a range of 1 to 5. Let me spin it around. Let me bring it down. Let me just go right here. 1 to 5. Rate of fire 1. White phosphorus 6. So essentially we need a 6 to place white phosphorus. Base is 7. No terrain effect modifiers, but a 7 will not hit because we do not have white phosphorus 7. So we need a 5 for the white phosphorus, right? Let's double check it. White phosphorus, 6. So we need a 6 to drop 1 there. What that will do is we'll put a dispersed white phosphorus here and reduce the firepower from all of these units coming into our direction. And it will yield a normal morale check for these units right here. So it's practically this better than firing direct fire. Here we go. Let's take the shot. Let's go, Japanese. And we roll a 6 and a 1 on the rate of fire die. So we do get rate of fire. That will be our last white phosphorus shot. So where's our white phosphorus? Oh, here it is. It will drop dispersed, and it will generate a normal morale check for these units. So 10 minus 2. This is where the 12s can really be a pain in the ass. 10 minus 2, you need to roll it. And he rolls a 7, so he's fine. The unit below, normally you would add the terrain effect modifier to your roll. I don't think open ground is -1 because they're not moving. The unit below him rolls an 11, even with the -2 on the leader. This unit fails. Okay, so that's one hell of a shot. Now, since we have rate of fire and we used all of our smoke's gone from the weapon, so we don't have to worry about labeling it. We're going to fire the 50 millimeter mortar on both these units here. Technically over here would be a little bit better. But let's see, flip. HE range of less than or equal to 2 is a rate of fire of 1. So we only have a 1 rate of fire on this unit, but we'll take it because that'll give us a 2 minus 1. We do have this range here, but we're going to take a shot here. Again, maybe we'll get rate of fire. And we roll an 11. Does not malfunction the weapon. We do have an acquisition here. You do not gain accuracy with the smoke. This is actually a really nice shot. So we may have been destroyed by that, but from these units, but we did break another unit, right? We did break another unit. All right, that's it for the defensive fire phase. Let's go with the advanced fire phase. Wow, and that dispersed smoke stays there. So let's do the guys in the back. That's going to be an 8 plus 1 plus 2 for the unit there. An 8 plus 2. Instead of 8 plus 1, and I rolled a 9, so no effect from that. Those Americans back there, and the leadership, the 10 minus 2 doesn't get to do anything. These units here are the only other units that can fire. That's going to be, I'm going to fire them individually. This is going to be a 6 plus 1, because that'll give me a 4 plus 1. 6 plus 1, 4 plus 1 is better than an 8 plus 1. 6 plus 1, I roll a 3. Excellent shot. 2 morale check on this unit. Plus we can kill him with 2 shots. He rolls a 4, passes it. The next unit is a 4 plus 1. Rolls a 10, cowers, no effect. Wow. All right. All of our firepower essentially was nullified with that dispersed smoke. All right. That's it for the advanced fire. Oh, nope. We have this unit here, firing back at this unit here at a firepower 4 plus 1. He rolls a 6, cowers. That will be a 7 on the 2, which is no effect. Otherwise, it would have been a pin task check. Interesting. All right. So we have route phase. Interesting enough here, this unit can route this direction because it's the same distance. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and the leader will route with him. And then we'll stay right there. And the dispersed smoke stays here. The dispersed smoke will be gone at the beginning of the prep fire phase of the Japanese player turn because it's dispersed. That's just a really interesting shot right there. So that's the route phase, the advanced phase for the Americans. He's coming here. Let's move these guys back. Let's move this guy up here. Actually, we need as much firepower as possible in the back. He's not gonna remain there unless we jump him into close combat. He's not going to go there, and that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to jump him into close combat. And this unit is going to go here. These guys going to go here. He's going to go here. 9 minus 1. We need you up at the front. And these guys, I think we need some more troops. He's going to have to go there. And in dealing with these units over here, let's go the 667 here. And the 668. We don't want to do a 248. Yeah, the 667 goes here. They'll both be on the upper level, so if these units here want to come up to here, they will get shot. And that's what we want. So only one unit has line of sight to these guys, but it protects our flank of the 10-2 from these units over here. Most likely the 10-2 will rally this unit, so we'll at least have one unit. That might be a good ploy for them to try and kill those guys. Very dangerous to try and jump him into close combat. 10-2 can decimate units. He's probably not going to be ambushed. All right, so let's go to the ambush here. This is kind of risky, but I just need to eliminate units. And if we eliminate him, then these guys are a little bit easier to deal with. This is risky. He is a first-line unit. He will get a -1 to the die roll, +1 here, and I will be CX'd. So that will be minus, essentially a +3 net. Actually, it won't be. Won't be a +3 net. -1 Japanese, first line. So it gives him a -1. I have a -1 for being Raider, +1 CX cancel, and then we've got a +1 for the jungle. So the Japanese are essentially our net +2. So hopefully we can roll 1, not get slaughtered. So a 3 and a 2. So essentially on +2 that will be essentially a 1 to a 4. That will be an ambush for the Japanese, and that will be a hand-to-hand close combat. It's going to get ugly here real quick. That's a 1 to 3 hand-to-hand close combat roll here. And we're going to have a -1 because he's not pinned. There's nothing pinned this unit. And he's going to be -1 for CX'd and -1 for ambush. So that's going to be a 1 to 4, -3. We need an 8 for a casualty reduction for the Japanese. And we roll a 7, which will eliminate the American unit. That was risky, but I think the risk is hopefully worth the reward. Don't know. It could backfire big time. All right. So let's go to the Japanese. Third player turn. That was huge. All right. Rally phase. Japanese has none. Americans have a 7 on this unit here. Again, 8 morale, +4 dice roll modifier, +3 dice roll modifier for the jungle, and then +1 for the -2 net. So 7 for the full squad. He rolls a 7, and the broken half squad needs a 10. 7 for the unit, -2, +1. Essentially +1 to the morale. So he needs a 10 to rally. And we roll a 9. Well, no problems there. Again, getting these units up. Gets the 10-2 going. Now we just need him to use the kill units. All right, 347 will be invaluable. All right, Japanese player turn. Let's swap the vision. Plans for the Japanese. Well, things have changed in the front line. We still have 3 units here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 step reductions essentially to be broken and eliminated. So we have lots of firepower we can take. This unit here doesn't necessarily need to be up here. He could move back there and do the sleaze maneuver and just pile on over here. That could be good. Or we can move this unit on the backside, 1, 2, 3, 4, advance, to force some Americans to come this way because we have the last move, remember. And that's a 2-4-6 for a victory. So I think I might spread this unit out to thin the Americans out, that he has to do something very fast to be able to eliminate us. You could simply just go back here. Yeah, but the Americans are just going to jump in close combat anyway. Actually, do we have the Raider? The Raider? Yeah, we added the Raider modifier there. That 237 kicked our ass. All right, so what we will do is we may have to just fire on these guys. Just blast them. These guys over here, gonna have to move. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Advance. Or you can go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, advance. That might not be so good. And be on both sides. We could possibly do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, advance. Yeah, let's make it hell on the Americans, I think. This is early, though. This is turn 3. We still have lots of turns left. I think we're going to wait out the Americans right here. Prep fire over here. 348 can't prep fire, so we need to think about what to do with him to move. We could safely move back here, gain concealment if necessary. Stay right there, gain concealment to defend against over the 347 over here. We could bring this, we'll bring this unit this way. We'll incur some firepower. I think I want to spread him over there, maybe. Yeah, I'm going to send him to the left just to be different. He's going to go this way and harass him. Make these guys come this way. This guy in the middle needs to decide what to do. And we only have, this is like 1, 2, 3 Americans to 3 Japanese. We have the advantage there as the Japanese player. So let's give the Americans some headaches. So prep firing. I don't really think we need to prep fire. We'll just move back. Yeah, I just think we'll move back. We'll just keep these guys alive. We could break them. 12 plus 1. We could possibly break them and then jump in them in close combat. Try to eliminate them. And if we eliminate them, we probably just win the game outright. To be honest with you. If we prep fire, we're going to break them. We can't jump them in close combat. So we want to prep fire on this unit and jump this guy in close combat. If that's what you want to do. This guy needs to move because he's going to be fired upon by a number of units. He needs to move out of dodge. We have 1 unit to fire. And we'll save his 12 firepower. We'll do the firing later on. It's still early. We still have 3 more movement phases to go as the Japanese. If this was turn 5, I'd probably, well, it doesn't matter. You could still retreat anyway. So we're just going to skulk right now for these guys, and the other guys are just going to move. It's just going to be a maneuver turn for the Japanese to see how the Americans deal with that broken unit. You could try to take advantage of the death of this unit, but the Americans have a lot of firepower. If I gack my roll, that's going to be a 20 firepower. That could ELR some of these guys. So we need to keep our steps alive as much as possible. We're going straight to movement phase. So this unit indeed will go 1, 2, 3, 4 over that direction. These units will stay up on the hill. And this unit will assault move back this way. Nothing can fire. That's not a line of sight here. That is the plateau effect of the hill. This guy over here. Can we make that move now or later? If we make the move, it will pull these guys further away from the front. And the Americans still need to exit. You know what? Let's lose the CX. We have 6 movement factors. I still think we need to pressure them. 2, 4. We can still defensive fire. We still have 4 firepower. All right, yep. We're going to move. We're going to go 2, 4, 5, 6. And then we could actually just advance here and force the Americans to do something. Remember, we still have a step reduction left on the squad right there. And he's got 8 morale, so now he's got 8 morale. Yep, that's good. All right, Americans, what are we going to do? Nobody's in our line of sight. So we do not, actually this prep fire, this disperse is gone in the prep fire phase. And we have no one to fire at. This is gone as well. So that was quick. No advanced fire for the Japanese. Route, nothing. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're going to move here. And the Japanese over here. It's the advanced phase. We don't want to be... Let's move here so we have some possible firing capabilities. Or maybe here. This is a little safer. We're going to go here. This is a little safer because that means we can escape through L9 and M9 later on in case the Americans occupy both these locations. But we're very fast. We can use our speed. Japanese back over here. Advance. I don't think we want to advance on there. This guy probably needs to move. I think the mortar, he has no more smoke. I think the mortar needs to go over here. Let's see. What's the HE range? Less than or equal to 2, 1 rate of fire. So if we move the mortar over here to get a 3 rate of fire, we could fire at all these locations. We need to move the mortar over there. The 348 will move here. 447 will remain there. Actually, we'll swap those. And the mortar will move here as well. Don't really like both units, but he doesn't really have a lot of units to pressure me anyway. All right. So that's what we'll do for the Japanese, and they both, all these guys will gain concealment. Nobody's in line of sight. All right, he will gain concealment over here. That's it for the Japanese turn. Pretty fast. American turn 4. All right, no rallies. What do the Americans need to do? We need to pressure here, continue to pressure, and we need to move off anyway. So, this unit will have to expend 4 movement factors to go up here, so it's better if he go 2, 3, 4 to pursue to pursue that unit. Or just simply move over this general direction. Actually, he could do that. But this 8-0 and this 8-0 are going to be important. 10-2, I think, needs to come up here and just kick these guys' asses. Pretty much, that just needs to happen. Right. So, we're going to have some firepower right here. So, we're going to use the American smoke ability again. We have lots of guys with smoke. We have no prep fire. No Japanese are in our let me swap this around. No Japanese are in our line of sight. We're going to pursue this guy later. We don't need to deal with him. Why? Because we have 3 turns left. We need to destroy these units here. I think these units would be okay. Seriously, why is it going twice? And this unit, god damn it. And this unit over here. And this unit over here, we can try to deal with. We just got to keep him off the ridge for the most part. And I think that's he does move last. So the 347 will come into play. All right. These guys here, I think we need to assault move one guy here. 1-3. If we move here and break, we have to route the H9, not the I8. We could route this way and take interdiction. H9 would actually be a better spot to route to. The HMG Yeah, we're gonna have to wait and see what those movements are. Wow. Lots of American units in lots of different places. We need to make sure he doesn't go over that way. 2. All right. Unit I3. Actually, the 667. No, the 667 here in F3 will attempt smoke placement into G3. And we roll a 5, no effect. So that's that's nothing. It's 2, 3, 3, 4. 667 will attempt smoke placement into G3. A 3, he succeeds. That's going to be 2. Three, 4. Do we fire? Oh, 2, 3, actually. That could actually be an assault move. So in that case, since that's only 1, it's likely that he will declare an assault move, drop the smoke, and then move in there. I'd be 2 to move in there anyway, so it's not going to be an assault move. Unless the leader goes with him. And the leader will go with him. We want to generate a fire attack. So 2, 3, 4 with an assault move. He will fire at 12 firepower. Plus 2 smoke, plus 1 terrain. 12 firepower, plus 3. Stone building. He rolls a 10. No effect. That will leave 6 residual in that location. That's a lot of residual. But we have a plan. And he's first fired. So we need units. We need more units. He's moved. I3 is going to drop smoke into H2 for 2. Rolls a 5, no effect. I'd like to go up on that hill, but I don't want to get a shot. And that's it for him. Actually, we can bait a shot. Yep. Three, 4. The reason why I'm baiting this shot here is how many turns do I have left? 3 turns. If he gets broken in the Japanese player turn, I can route. Most likely he'll just route here to K3 and then maybe go up to K2, right? Or maybe even over to L1. The decision is his choice. Then he'll be broken in the Japanese player turn, can't rally, lose the DM status, possibly self-rally, and either fire on these units or simply go 1, 2, 3, and then off as part of our exit victory conditions. So him moving here, and even if he breaks, because we have time left to self-rally, literally 2 turns and possibly even get a leader up there, even this 8-0 down here can possibly make his way over there. That unit is fine. We have to worry about the Japanese, any movement into H2, considering we have all of this movement to go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a possibility. That's a possibility. We could fire, and then subsequent first fire here adjacent. And I think we'll have to take that. I'm going to take at least the 2 shot. The 2 minus 2 here. He rolls a 6, no cowering. A 4 is a 1 morale check. And he rolls a 6, which will pin. Wow. Wow. So now he's stuck out in the open. This unit is first fired. And that will leave one residual in that location. All right, one residual there. He's first fired. He's first fired. And we have the 10 minus 2 to move, and these guys to move as well. Can we get the 10 minus 2 up there and smoke? 1, 2, 3. One, two, three, 4, 5, but no one else can take advantage of the smoke. We'll have 2 more turns left. Three, 4, 7. 3, 4, 5. Or 2, 4. 3, 4, 7 could go 2, 4. Big difference. I got to split them up. Wow. I really don't want to get shot in H2. You know what we'll do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. 10 minus 2. One squad will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 residual firepowers in that location. Don't like stacking 2 leaders. But the 10 minus 2 needs to do some ass kicking, to be honest. We need to start breaking ELR and some dudes. So this is a 6 firepower residual attack. Non-assault movement +1 for the jungle will negate, +2 for the smoke. 6 + 2. The roll is a 4. A 6 on the 6 chart is a 1 morale check for the American. Oops, the leader rolls an 8. Now the squad must roll, I think, an 8 to be pinned. Rolls a snake eyes. Okay. Both of them pass through. 6 firepower here. Heavy. We're not going to fire the 4 system yet. We'll fire in subsequent. We'll fire after the smoke dissipates. So these units down here, we need more units up there to kill them. Okay, this 667 will go 1, 2, 3. Actually, this one's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. This guy will probably come down here to deal with these dudes, or he might go over here. What's the threat? I think we could jump this guy. 3, 4, 7 will go here. 6, 6, 7 will come down here. We just need a block, right? So he'll go 1, 2, 3. This guy will go 1, 2, 3, 4. No. 1, 1, 2, 3. Here. And he doesn't have to do anything until the last of the turn. I'm not going to move that unit at all. 2, 4. Yeah, I'm fine right there. I think we have time to deal with this guy. But these guys, geez. All right. So that's it for the American movement phase. Pretty uneventful for the most part. Smoke goes away, residual goes away. This guy goes away. He will subsequent fire final fire. Adjacent would be a 6 + 1. That's the only shot. Actually, the mortar might fire too. 6 + 1. He rolls a 4. A 5 on the 6 chart is a 1 morale check. 10 minus 2 checks first. He rolls a 6. He's good. Oh, we can roll the other leader. 1 morale check. 7, he's good. MMG, 6, he's good. Unit no support weapon rolls a 12. He is casualty reduced. And he breaks. All right. That's not good. So at least we could route with him. The 9 minus 1 doesn't really need to be there anyway. But we lose lots of firepower on the advancing shot. Mortar. Might as well fire on this unit over here. 2 firepower, or we'll roll a 7 to hit. He rolls a 6, rolls a hit. 2 no modifiers. 7 no effect, no rate of fire either. Okay, so his concealment's gone. Probably a mistake, but we could try to gain it later on. He's first fired, he may not fire again. These are off. No one else can fire. American advanced fire phase. We've got a 6 minus 1 on the 447. We roll a 9, which is an 8 on the 6 chart. Is a pin task check. Japanese unit rolls an 8 and is pinned. That means we're probably going to go into close combat because he can't go. He can't do a hand-to-hand combat on us. So that is very good. Don't really want to do that with a 10 minus 2, but I think we could take advantage of that situation. And these other units. This unit will fire. Advanced fire. 3. Halved again for being pinned. 1.5 up to 2, 3, 2 plus 1 on these units here. Rolls a 7, no effect. Okay, so let's go with the route phase. I think, yep, I think these units are fine. Routing back 1 hex because these guys will join them and then they can create essentially a mobile platoon. Route advances. We're going to throw the 10 minus 2 in there. This is the best situation the 10 minus 2 can hope for. He's pinned. Advance. We're going to force this unit to move or fire. He's going to move here. Actually, he's going to move here with the leader. Because if he moves down to this bottom corner, over here, I'm not sure why it flipped, but, you know, whatever. He can move down to this bottom corner and he can get shot at. So we're going to force that. If he breaks, he gets to route over here. No matter, yeah. And that's what we have to deal with there. All right, and then these units here can advance. They're going to advance a little closer over here. He's going to advance into the woods. We could body block that guy. And then he's going to advance in this location here. All right, we've got 1 ambush here. All right. Let's double check the effect of the pin on the Japanese unit. Pin, unless they're part of a bonsai charge. They do have a -1 ambush die roll modifier, but he is pinned, so that cancels the die roll modifier. So we are Raider, and the Raider modifier is negated by the jungle, and we have a -2. So we have a net -2 modifier on this Japanese unit. American rolls a 1. The Japanese rolls a 5. We ambush the Japanese unit. So that will be a 3-2. 6-4 is 3-2. We're not going to worry about this. It's going to be the same effect. 7-4, still 3-2. Ambush -1, -2 leader. 3-2, -3. And we roll an 8. -3 makes it a 5. Rita 2 kill is a 6, so this unit is eliminated without possibility of parole. Wow. Okay. That's what the 10-2 can do for you. This unit's pinned is removed. Wow. This is crazy game. Crazy game. All right. That's it for the Americans. Concealment gains. Just about everybody. We're going to conceal him. This unit over here is not in concealment terrain. God damn it. Why does that do that? Not in concealment terrain. Let's see what the SK abilities are. Let's see. Can gain. No. Let's see. The startup scenario. Let's see. Certain types of concern. Oh my god. Really? Concealment game. A good order unit making concealment at the end of its player turn, provided no non-hip, unbroken enemy units, and it is in concealment terrain. Seriously? So you don't get the roll? Hold on, let me check that. Yeah, it appears in SK you do not get concealment if you are in non-concealment terrain. At all. Period. End of story. I don't see any concealment gain. It's concealment gain's pretty short. Good order unit. Gain concealment. No non-hip unbroken, which would be known enemy units. Technically, I guess if you're concealed, you're not known. So that's the non-hip is kind of bullshit words I have to use in there. Enemy has an LS to it, and it's, yep, no concealment. No concealment there. These guys are concealed. We'll put a concealment on him anyway. Put the upper corner. These guys are concealed here in the middle. So is a 9-1. Just in case the Japanese want to get funky. We'll put him on top. 667. Again, the reason why I didn't route him back any further, if the Japanese unit wants to get fancy and DM him again, he gets to fire upon him. He gets to fire upon him, and these guys get to fire upon him. If he wants to come over here, same thing. 2 units get to fire upon him. Yes, you'll get to DM the unit, but most likely you'll get vaporized in doing so. So you don't get to do it for free. Like the Japanese player had down here, he got that free shot on I-8, which DM'd him, which kept him out of the battle for another turn, probably turn and a half, right? Because he rattled up here. I think it was a full turn. So, yeah, that was the American player turn. Now we go to the Japanese player turn 4. Interesting. Rally phase, nothing for the Japanese. The Americans get to do lots of rallying right here. Let me move these guys down a little bit. Okay, we've got a support weapon recovery in that location there. A 4 will not do it. We won't bother with the leader. We're going to try to rally this unit here. DM level 4, +1 for the jungle, -1 for the leader, +2 here. We need a 5. We roll a 6. Unless I'm mistaken, well, that doesn't do it. -1. That's 4, makes it 3. That makes it a 5. Yep, nothing. All right, he loses DM. That's okay. All right, Japanese player, prep fire phase. Do we have any prep fire phase? Let's spin this around for the Japanese. Well, we only have a couple units down here. Do we have any prep fire? He's going to be able to shoot at us in either location. That's going to be a 20 firepower -1. We're out of smoke and white phosphorus. We have 1 unit over here, and we're going to get blasted right here. Six, that'll be an 8 firepower +1. Not a really good shot on a 10-2 unit. Wow. Looking grim for these guys over here. We can step reduce one time, and then we could possibly jump into close combat over here. Or we could step reduce one time and jump into close combat here. And we'll be the attacker. There won't be an anti-ambush, but we are the attacker. So that will be a 1 to 4 -1. I'll need a 6 to kill him. That might be enough. And we'll still be adjacent to this thing here. The 10 -2 would be an assault move away. That's rough. All right, we're going to, there's a lot of firepower here. That's 20 firepower adjacent. I think trying to kill this American unit is our best bet. I don't think we're going to survive against this guy. That's going to be 20 firepower. We're going to fail the morale check. Or we can go an 8+1. Let's do the 8+1. Let's fire the mortar. A range of 1. HE range less than or equal to 2. 1. Rate of fire. We could get a rate of fire. Let's fire on the 10 -2. Maybe we'll get lucky. I think that's our chance. Fire the mortar. We can still do the 3-4-8 maneuver. The other units are going to move on the map. A 5 and a 1, which will hit and get rate of fire. So that will be a... I think the airburst applies. Let's check the rule. So the rule says when firing HE at a range of less than 2 hexes, the rate of fire is lowered to 1 and airbursts are not applicable. So that's going to be a 2+1. 2+1 shot. Interesting. We'll take it though. A 5, a 6 on the 2 is a pin task check. Worst things have happened. The leader does not pin. The squad does not pin either. We do get rate of fire. We're going to fire on the 667. Still rate of fire of 1, range of 2. He rolls a 7. That will hit with no rate of fire. The result is a 2 even shot, which is a 10. Unfortunately, nothing happens with that. We're going to have to assault move. Actually, we get shot by these guys as well over here because they have a line of sight to this location. Shoot. We're going to assault move into this location here to avoid the that's going to be a shot too anyway. That's going to be a line of sight. Nope, because that's going to block. That's going to block there. So we'll assault move into this location here. He will take a 6-1 shot. I didn't want to drop smoke because then the 10-2 could fire upon us. So we're just going to assault move there. We have 8 morale. We should be okay. He will take a first fire shot on us. 6-1, unfortunately. I rolled a 4. That is a 3 on the 6 shot. Oh, geez. That's a K1, a K2. Well, that's not good. That's not good at all. So he immediately goes down to a half squad from the casualty reduction. And then this guy takes a 2 morale check. This guy needs to make this. And he makes it with a 5. Excellent deal. His firepower, for all intents and purposes, remains the same in the advanced fire phase. He only expended 1 movement factor. He may not fire again. That's it for those guys. Holy crud. All right, so let's go. Huh. 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, advance. 6. He could fire upon us there. he can have more time to kill us. This is going to be a slaughter over here now. Do we move back to here? He'll pursue. We have to continue through the jaw. Actually, maybe we go for we are first line. We're going to go 2-4. 2-4. 2-4 here. And then go from here. This unit over here. Actually, should we have prep fired on this unit here? Or retreat? We could retreat back to the middle with 6 movement factors. I think he's concealed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That would be a line of sight to this unit. I think we could do that. We're going to go 2, 4, 6, advance. Yep. We're going to make it try to be a pain in the ass to the Americans. So we're going to go 2, 2. He'll fire at 6 even. We have high morale. We shouldn't have to worry about it. 5 on the 6 chart. So that makes a 1 morale check. Come on, leader. He's a 7 to pin. Rolls a 9. Yep, because we lost our concealment. This is bad. And he's an 8. He needs a 7. He rolls a 10. He will step reduce, unfortunately. Man, it's not looking good. This unit takes a wound die roll. 5. He's gone. Wow. And he may still continue. So he'll go 4. Coming back. He will subsequent first fire at 6 even. We need to engage him in close combat and kill him. 9, no effect. We need to try and kill this unit. That's our only chance. And then possibly deal with these guys. I think that's a deal. We are still 8 morale. We still have the advantage in the shots. We just happen to lose a couple die rolls over there. All right, that's it for that. American advanced fire phase. He is done. He is subsequent first fired. He may not fire. No line of sight. No line of sight. He may only fire at adjacent units. No problem here. And we just have a 45,000 firepower -1. That's going to be a 20 -1 on that unit there. I'm not sure that we could have done any better. Delaying the inevitable. I'd rather take a shot. 20 -1 and roll a 9. That is survivable. An 8 is a 2 morale check. Rolling an 8 will not cause a survival there. And actually, that will break the machine gun as well. Because I rolled a 9. They're non-repairable, so I'm almost likely to destroy that later on. And this unit is here. And DM'd. All right. So that's bad. That's bad for that. Because he can't rally. We have 1 unit left. All right. So this is gone. The Japanese get to advance. Let's move here. And we'll gain concealment at the end of the turn. This unit will advance into close combat. This unit will advance in this direction. 2, 4, yep, here. All right, we could try to do this. He is a raider unit, -1, +1 for me, negates my stealthiness ability. So he has a net +1. We can ambush him here. Japanese, oop, what the hell? Where'd that die go? All right. No ambush, but the 1 for the Japanese, a 3 for the Americans. But the Japanese are the attackers, and they may declare hand-to-hand close combat. He's going to have a 3-1 on me. I'm probably going to be eliminated, but that's the chance we have to go. We just have to eliminate him. Well, we have to go to hand to hand. So we're 1 to 3, which makes it a 1 to 4. I am Japanese. Hand clone combat was -1. I need a 5 for 6 for an elimination. Nope, 5 for elimination. I roll 7, -1, makes it a 6. Not good enough. And the American goes 3 to 1. This should be easy enough. A 6 will eliminate the unit. All right, that's gone. This is not good. We need a couple ambushes. All right. American turn 5. This should be pretty quick. When you got a rally central, he's going to need like an 8. Snake Eyes is good enough. Again, they're rallying like crazy. We're going to try and pick up this LMG. Oh, this guy's got a route. 2 is his closest cover. He has to drop the that's 4 portage points. He has to drop that. He's gonna attempt to pick up the LMG. A 3, he picks it up, makes it a 5, and then most likely he'll just drop this one. Mortars here. Wow. Okay, we still have 2 Japanese units left. This unit is rallied, and American player turn. We got nobody over here, so we're just going to do a body block on this 347. We actually don't need to engage him. We still need to move 4 units off. 10 minus 2 is 3. 1 squad is going to be 4. We still have to kill this unit in 2 turns. So if we break, we're screwed. So we need to do a spread eagle on this guy. Throwing a unit here will eliminate him. We're going to throw the 347 there because we don't need to bother with him over here. So there is no, technically we could prep fire. We don't need to prep fire. We need to move this unit because that guy's gone. There's no prep fire. Actually, we're going to recover this unit over here. The LMG. A 3 makes it a 5. Hey, we found that one. Can't find the mediums, but so we're going to try and just do a body block down here and deal with this unit as it is. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to move up here first. So this unit here, 667, will throw smoke into J1 for 2. He rolls a 3. Again, American smoke. And then we will go to this location here for 4. He's not going to fire upon him. 347 will go 1, 2, 3, 4. That will get rid of that unit. The 9-1 and this bad boy right here. They will lose. You know what? He's not going to lose concealment. We're going to go 1, 2, 3. 10 minus 2 and this guy over here. We'll go 1, 2, 3. We'll have to take a shot. We got to take a shot at something. That's going to be a 4 even shot from the 238. A 6 on the 4 shot is a morale check. 10 minus 2. You can always fail these, people. You can always fail these. He rolls a 3. Unit needs to roll an 8. Actually, a 9. I rolled an 8 again. Without the leadership modifier, that unit breaks. These guys have been passing morale checks for the leadership modifiers. The 10 minus 2 has been very helpful and critical in getting our units up and going. We had the broken units before. We had the broken units over here, and we got them going. So that's it for that. It only expended 1 movement factor here. Let's do some more movement over here. So he first fired up in the corner, and then the Americans can move over here. Let's move the unit over here. So we'll go 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. This unit's going to go 2, 4. One, two. This unit's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. He's going to go with the 667. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So all these dudes are concealed. All right. So we're going to try and just body block this guy out of the game. Don't have to worry about that. Defensive fire. He gets to fire again. 2+1 adjacent. 10, no effect. Smoke is gone. Advanced fire. 10 minus 2. Let's soften him up with this unit. We're going to go 4+1. 5, not a bad roll. 6 is a normal morale check. Unit rolls a 4, no problem. 10 minus 2 will fire 8 firepower adjacent. 8 minus 1. He rolls a 6, does not malfunction the weapon. 5 on the 8 will be a 2 morale check. The unit will roll an 11 and he will break. And both of these units will be eliminated. Do you see that? Breaking that unit kills him. So this unit here has to route, cannot route here, eliminated. This unit has to route, can't route here because he's moving closer to an enemy unit. Again, another reason, I mean, this would be the, but it would have done the same thing, but this keeps him from coming this way. That unit is eliminated. All right. So, Japanese. Let's flip this. We got concealment gains. We're not going to worry about concealment gains up there. Concealment gain down here could be very vital. Where can this guy make it? He has 2 more movement factors. 2 more movement things left. He's only a 7 morale. So this unit, assault move advance phase. We could try to ambush these guys. They'll be hand-to-hand close combat -1. Because moving up here does nothing. 2, 4 advance for CX does nothing. He'll jump me in close combat. And 2, 4, 6 advance. I'm too far away. All these units will move just a body block. We need to pressure it down here. If we kill this, that means he needs to, that gives us a few more options. We're going to assault move here. This unit can't afford to fire. I don't think we can fire in that location because we need to keep our concealment here because that's going to be a 6+1. I'll definitely lose concealment. Well, technically, this is what we'll do. And this is very key and important. Very key concept. I'm glad we got to this point. Both these units have concealment. The 667 will fire upon that unit. The 80 will not direct. Therefore, he will maintain his concealment. Why are we maintaining concealment? Because when this unit jumps into close combat, if one unit is concealed, you maintain the -2 die roll modifier for ambush. So this is going to be a free shot. It'll be a 6+1 on the Japanese unit. And I roll a double 6s. Again, doesn't matter on the cowering. This is a perfect example. 6+1. So it's a 7 on the 6 chart. We cower. It goes down to the 4 chart, and it is a pin task check, which reveals him. And he has to roll a pin task check. And he rolls a 7, which is fine. Again, he cowers. The only cowering rolls that would hurt us is the 8, 10, and 12. The 6 does not hurt us. The 4 does not hurt us. And the 2 does not hurt us because they gain results which strips their concealment, Now he's at a disadvantage in trying to ambush us, which right now the Japanese is probably screwed. This is probably game over. He needed to ambush these units to have an opportunity to get to one of these positions the next turn. I don't think the Americans can body block everything, plus the Japanese can just, if he's here, if the Americans go here, he just jumps them into close combat. He doesn't have to be in good order, he just has to be next to the road. So the Japanese player lost a lot of things there. He needs to be able to fire upon this unit with a 2. That's going to be a 1 against the 8-0. He needs to roll really well. So that's it. The American could subsequent versus fire versus that unit because it's 2 movement factors there, and he will. So the first shot was a 6+1. The second shot will also be a 6+1 because now he is marked with a first fire marker. 6+1. I roll a 5, makes it a 6 on the 6, which is a 1 morale check. The unit rolls a 5 and passes. All right, that's his only shot. First fire we're just going to remove. No other fire. Japanese units returns fire. Need something super low. A 6 on the 2 chart is a pin task check. Oh, it's +1. So it'd be a 7, so no effect. All right. There are no more Japanese units but this one. So no route phase. Advanced phase, this is the only chance he has, to be honest with you. Not sure that he can ambush him, but I really think that's his only chance. So unfortunately, -1 for the Japanese, cancels the plus here. Raiders -1, concealment. He's at a -3 detriment. It's not good. 5 and a 6 means no ambush, but the Japanese do have to do close combat. It's going to be a 1 to 4. He needs a 4 for elimination. An 11's not going to do it. This guy has to engage in close combat. That's another silly rule, but that's just the way it is. 7 to 3 is 2 to 1. Hand to hand needs a 9. Needs a 9. Casualty reduces him. Oh, no, not custom. State. And I'm not sure why he breaks. So he's a 2-3-7. That is a melee. That's going to be a 3 to 1 in the next phase. I don't really think there's a chance, to be honest with you, but we'll continue. American turn 6. These units have nothing to do but to exit. So they'll all exit. Technically, they can come down here and block. Yeah, actually, we're going to do that. Just in case something wonky happens. 10 - 2. And these guys exit. 9 - 1. And this guy, he drops a medium. Rally phase, no effect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's not going to have an effect. We're just going to exit him. So these are exit VP. We only need 4. Doesn't take much to get to 4. And then down here, we could just reinforce the melee. So what we're going to do is we're going to make 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're going to assault move and advance phase. We're not going to fire into the melee. We don't want to break anybody. We're going to assault move here. Assault move, advance phase. And we're going to assault move here. So, again, hand-to-hand combat, maintains hand-to-hand combat. We have 10 to 2, 5 to 1. I need an 11 for casual reduction. If I roll 12, nothing happens. 12, no, just kidding. An 8. He is eliminated. Americans win. Game end. So, very interesting game. I think the very critical parts. Did the Japanese have an effective strategy in pushing left and right? I think it worked to an extent. I think the problem was the 10-2, not in his offensive capabilities, because that didn't happen until the end of the game, was his rally. He came here, rallied these units straight off, moved here, rallied the 347 that had routed up here after he got DM'd, and then came up here and kicked ass. So he rallied 4 units, maybe 3 or 4 units, which kept us going, because while we were in the middle here, we hit a couple breaks, which was really critical. Remember, it was 3-3 with Japanese units here and American units here. That's not a great advantage for the Americans, but they have the firepower. And then so the 10-2 came up and just kind of cleaned up after rallying those units, which gives us more bodies on the map, which allows us to chase after these units here. Come over here. The 347 came back, started chasing that unit there, right? These units allowed to come down, help body block, try and block over here, while the 10-2 rallied 3 or 4 units to allow them to push forward. So I think the biggest takeaway here is, initially, if you want to use your 10-3 leader for offense, that's fine. But I think in the first half of the game, let your American firepower whittle down the Japanese. That's exactly what happened on this side over here. These 448s lost their morale checks early. That's one step. We got a step reduction here. We got a step reduction here. And then their firepower started dwindling. And then therefore the 10-2 is not as needed for the firepower, because the 667s had enough firepower for themselves to kind of finish off the job, and the 9-1 was doing a great job in the middle. So, and these other units here, again, rallied. The 8-0s helped to move them around the map to pursue units, or possibly try to maybe get off at the end. Obviously, we didn't need them at the end, but we did need the 8-0s for a little bit of mobility here. So big difference there. So let me know what you guys think. And pretty decent scenario. I think maybe the Japanese just need to fall back, stay in the middle of the jungle and fall back. That's kind of boring, to be honest with you. So I try to do something differently, something more exciting. And again, taking the 347 and running this way. He actually had a decent chance. He just lost his concealment, and the American here kept his concealment. Huge difference there. The die roll didn't come out to be effect, but the -2 helped in maintaining the advantage. Maintain the advantage, and then you can deal with him. We didn't even kill him in close combat. This guy over here, the leader over here, I think is a decent ploy. The squad, maybe not. The squad back here, as it turns out, could have been done a little better, because the squad could have just stayed right here and then threatened the move here or the move here at the end game. So it probably made a big difference up in this area and just do the leader back here. But the problem with the leader back here is you could just chase after him and jump him in close combat. So he needed some firepower. Unfortunately, it didn't work out for the Japanese in this one here. It was close in a certain couple instances. The Americans were, close in some shots. The white phosphorus was a good ploy. The smoke placements were really pretty good overall to advance in those key areas. I got to erase that one too. And so take advantage of all your capabilities for your units. Again, we tried smoke with the mortar and then the white phosphorus. And just use your units to maximum abilities. Reference the rules as you need. We checked back on the Japanese mortar a couple times, because we haven't played with Japanese mortars a lot, at least in this smoke making that we actually had smoke. And the range was really close. And so it makes a big difference. So thanks a lot, guys, for watching it. Play this one. Let me know how it goes. Post it on the scenario archive, etc., etc. And let me know how it goes for you guys. It pretty much ran the entire gamut of the game. You had to kill all the Japanese. So it runs the distance. So the game will not end early, most likely. So have a great time, guys, and go play some ASL.